y les deseamos que tengan un lindo paseo. A partir de este momento, si ustedes lo desean, pueden circular por toda la embarcación. Arriba también hay parlantes para que puedan escuchar. Además, si lo desean, pueden visitar a nuestro capitán en su cabina, que aprovecho para presentarles. Se llama Omar. Walter es nuestro marinero, Lidia nuestra azafata.
Example of that post pile.
Las que pueden ver sobre estos paredes.
But a huge example of it. I think that's volcanic.
De días van a ver un complejo de cabañas. Aquel complejo de cabañas para tiempo compartido se llama Parque. Parque funciona aquí desde el año 1987. Cerro Abanico tenemos una profundidad sondeada de 200 metros una conífera, pero no pertenece a la familia.
Turning into a lovely day today, actually. Okay, a half an hour after we left, we arrive here at what I think is said to be like a Mapuche village. Is in fact, I think, an additional major profit center for this entire enterprise, and that they built this quasi-resort here. So each day they bring 50 to 75 or 80 people out here for 2 hours and a quarter before we leave to basically spend money. Every enterprise, cruise ships or whatever, have their little ways of stripping your cash from you, being the ultimate cheapskate and cynic. I hope that will not happen to me. It's interesting how easy it is to stereotype. The older gentleman looks quite distinguished. Hat, nice jacket and so forth, sweater on, tie. But as I look at him, I wonder, is this the last of the German SS that escaped to Argentina? This is a puree of squash with butter in it. It's really good. Once again, I ask myself as I sit in a perfect kind of a setting, although not my usual, but beautiful setting here. Music playing in the background, the sun pushing away the clouds of last night and last night's rain. Does it get much better than this? I have an hour and a quarter left until the boat leaves. I finished my lunch of what I thought was going to be a little side dish of pureed squash and a simple salad. Turned out to be 2 to 3 times as much as I had expected. But you can't beat the price. And the food was very good. It is what Argentina is known for, at least amongst some travelers, and that is inexpensive, good quality food. Last night I had something that was expensive I didn't like, and that was a pasta verdura. In other words, the raviolis had some kind of vegetable in it, and it was a pesto salsa, but it wasn't very good sauce. It wasn't enough, and it wasn't definitive enough. But a lovely spot to camp if they were out away from a business and homes. Park the kayak right there, pull it up onto the beach, cook dinner a little ways away from that. But what a pretty, comfortable little spot. Just a memo note in case I forget. This morning, along with the 2 Australian folks, Ray being a taxi driver, I don't know that Heather works, met a professor from the University of Missoula, who is the professor of mushrooms, or whatever that's called. But he's also has a website on them, and probably is an expert, probably in the world. I'm guessing he's one of. He also discussed a book, Guns, Disease, and Metal, or something analogous to that, to those words. I think she's telling me that this white stuff is cormorant doo-doo.
1 y 2 huevos cada 2 o 3 años y pasan un año completo alimentando. Si miran hacia la izquierda a nivel del agua van a pertenecer a las bandurrias. La bandurria es un ave de gran tamaño, de color grisácea con cuello canela, fácil de distinguir por su largo pico curvo, que utiliza para extraer el alimento desde el suelo. Estas aves viven en comunidades.
This is pudu. I don't think it's imported. I think it is native to Argentina. There are imported deer here. Look like a bobcat. Nice trail through the woods alongside the river. This all is a national park. Reminds me of parks I've seen coming down through Colorado this time. Certainly northwest in Washington you'll see what looks like this kind of forest. Different kinds of plants, as you can see from the one in front of us. Clever interpretive sign having a depiction carved in wood of a falls. Hola. Es fuerte. I think I'm in between pateandos. No doubt the pronunciation's wrong, but it means other walkers. This interesting bamboo stuff I used the other day going up the other falls as a walking stick. It was pretty firm. Worked pretty darn good. It's lovely in this kind of moment when there's nobody around. You hear the sound of the river. Here is a policy both wise and appreciated, and that is an explanation in English. Explains how nutrients, which are dissolved in the water in the soil, migrate up through these super tall trees because the cells act as water pumps, for lack of a better term. I always think of these giant trees as something out of Lord of the Rings. This is interesting moss or algae. It looks like it literally gathers dirt maybe from the wind to build its colony on. Or maybe wind just gets trapped in the colony and it keeps growing to the outside of it. Notice the algae here too. Does the water perhaps lament that it won't get the thrill of diving over that falls again? I'm in the southern hemisphere, of course, so does that mean the moss is growing on the south side of the tree? And if that's the case, what do I do about the rock with this moss on it? Certainly I'm lost now. Not unusual, but wooden bridge leading down to El Puerto, where the boat is. And on the other hand, in fact, won't some of this water get to go down many falls throughout its life because the water tends never to be destroyed? One last pan at the end of the day as we're approaching San Martin port. This is the little vegetarian restaurant in San Martin. It's recommended in the guidebook. And my two friends, Ray and Heather from Australia, ate here last night and enjoyed it. And I felt like something kind of light, since I had a good salad and a big pile of mashed or pureed squash. But very much this could be found anywhere in the United States, particularly in the resort area. So here's my agua mineral con gas and the obligatory bread. This is a mixture of carrot, pureed carrot, and some other spices for the bread, actually. And these are croutons for the soup, onion soup, and this is the cheese for the onion soup. This is spinach omelet. Not much evidence of the egg, except you can taste it and see a little bit of it, but it's apparently the binding agent. I don't know if these are diced pieces of spinach or whether it's pre-cooked, but it's very good. I wonder too if this brown represents some kind of batter, or maybe it's just the egg. Must be a total of 20 or 25 of those birds secreted in that tree. Looks like some kind of just a steam tractor with that power drive on the side for driving something, maybe lumber or machinery or whatever, and maybe the wheels were just what it was used to be hauled with.